Hey guys, before we get this video underway, I just want to let you know how you can support my channel without giving any money to me, and it requires no effort on your part. If you use Amazon to do your online shopping, instead of going straight to Amazon.com, use my affiliate link in the description. This gets you to your normal Amazon front page and nets me a small percentage of what you purchase at no extra cost to you. This affiliate program lets me keep this show going without asking money from you guys, and that is a very good thing in my eyes. So if you're interested in helping this channel grow and getting some sweet stuff, please bookmark this link and use it the next time you do a little online shopping. Thanks for listening, guys, and without further delay, let's get on with the show. Welcome back, Stalkers. I hope you've all loaded up on ammo because today, we're going on a mission into the irradiated wasteland, a place filled with inhuman mutations and priceless artifacts, a dark and alien landscape that's equal parts violently cruel and serenely inviting. Those of you who've been here before should prepare for a very different experience, and as for you new recruits, here's a little advice. Sleep with one eye open, pay close attention to your surroundings, and no matter what you do, never let your guard down. What's up guys, I'm Jared, and this is Trashed Classics. Stalker Clear Sky was set loose on the world a mere 1 year after the release of Shadow of Chernobyl, and takes place during the events of S.T.A.L.K.E.'s first journey into the center of the zone, which I guess is a good time to tell you guys that this is the second in a series of reviews on the Stalker franchise. Before we go forward, you should probably check out my review of Shadow of Chernobyl, or much of what I'm about to say isn't going to make much sense. In Clear Sky, you play as S.T.A.L.K.E.R, a mercenary for hire who lends his services to stalkers looking to survive the zone. One day, while escorting a crew of scientists through the swamps of S.T.A.L.K.E.R, there's a violent explosion of radioactive energy, and the entire crew is killed with the exception of S.T.A.L.K.E.R. After he's rescued by a faction of scientists and soldiers called Clear Sky, it's revealed that he's sustained severe damage to his nervous system, but is somehow immune to the shockwaves of radioactive emissions coming from the center of the zone. These emissions are believed to be the result of the events that transpired shortly before the first Stalker game. So in order to save his own life, S.T.A.L.K.E.R has to track down S.T.A.L.K.E and his group and prevent them from reaching the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, as Clear Sky believes the emissions are like an immune system response to stalkers nearing the center of the zone.
Someone made it through the Scorcher, and the emission was the zone's response.
As a prequel, Clear Sky sets up an interesting scenario that lets you re-explore areas from the first game while experiencing them in a completely different way. Most of the places you're familiar with in the first game are in Clear Sky, but due to the effect that the emissions will eventually have on the zone, you're going to find locations are a little different than you remember. Free stalkers will occupy military camps, anomaly locations have all been changed, and even some physical landmarks have been altered. It feels nostalgic to be able to revisit places like Cordon and Garbage, but at the same time, the changes made to both the environment and the gameplay makes Clear Sky sidestep the idea that it's just an expansion pack. Speaking of changes you might not be used to, the main difference in Clear Sky is what's called the faction war system. Throughout the game, you'll find out that everyone is allied with one of the zone's many groups, and helping these groups out can make them friendly to you, which affects how much you'll pay for supplies at their camps and whether or not they'll help you in a fight. In your time in the zone, you'll find each faction has their own purpose and general personality, and if you agree with their motives, it's possible to join up with your favorite group. Joining a faction can give you crucial backup, but beware, as joining one will put you on any of their enemies' shit lists. As far as gameplay is concerned, Clear Sky stays right in line with its predecessor. All of the basics have been carried over, and it's borderline insane how much reverence the game's creators had for their fans. Everything the fans loved about Shadow of Chernobyl have returned to Clear Sky, and the only changes are in the form of small improvements on core ideas and whole new additions that would soon be the staples of the series. Guns and armor can now be modified, making finding a weapon that suits your playstyle easier than ever. These mods can be performed by a small number of experts scattered throughout the zone, and the system's balanced enough to keep it from ruining the difficulty of the game.
Peace out, dude! Too bad we didn't roll a joint together.
These modifications go a long way in catering the combat to your personal taste. For example, I tend to stay at a distance and pick my enemies off with a slower, more accurate rifle. But if you're more of a blunt force shotgun kind of guy, or maybe a 100 round a second machine gun fan, rest assured your playstyle will be represented here. Those of you coming from Shadow of Chernobyl will be relieved to see that Clear Sky implements a fast travel system to negate some of the tedium that comes with the emphasis on exploration. Now don't get me wrong, I loved every minute of my treks from Cordon to Pripyat, but it's good to save a little time, especially when it's your 5th or 6th replay. Now with difficulty in mind, I have heard people complain that Clear Sky is too hard due to some wonky ballistics models, but I've never found that to be the case. However, if the hardcore, balls-to-the-wall, tough-as-nails learning curve that's common to the series doesn't get you excited, you can use the game's still-thriving mod community to your benefit. In this playthrough, I used the Arsenal Overhaul Mod, which improves the accuracy of most weapons and adds a metric shit-ton of new guns and sound effects to the game. While I've talked about this to an annoying degree already, I still have to emphasize the main reason to play this game, and that's the simple goal of exploring the zone. There's just something that this strange landscape does to me that I can't get from any other game. The emphasis on making the player feel alienated and alone in this strange world has always been the main goal behind Stalker games, and rest assured Clear Sky is no different. It's odd to say, but in this first-person shooter, it's not uncommon for you to go more than an hour of gameplay without even firing your gun. And that's because exploring your surroundings and finding the zone's hidden secrets often takes a huge precedence over the game's combat. Just as a warning, be prepared to be absorbed into this radioactive wasteland and possibly to lose a good portion of your free time to it as well. My latest playthrough clocked in at about 26 hours, but completionists and newcomers can expect to spend well over that getting to the end. And that's not to mention the huge amount of replayability that comes with the zone's random nature. Sure, you'll know all the game's story points, but with the game's AI and randomized loot and anomalies, I guarantee that no two playthroughs of the game are going to be the same. Plus, you could always crank up the difficulty to master and enjoy a realistic experience where one bullet is enough to end your game and finding ammo is a rarity. I know that sounds like the opposite of fun, but trust me, after you fully understand how to play the game, you'll want nothing more than another shot at surviving the zone. In the spirit of not sounding like a squealing fanboy, or at least any more that I have, I do have to warn you that there are some inherent downsides in starting up a game of Clear Sky, chief among them being performance. GSC was eager to achieve everything they could with the X-Ray engine during Clear Sky's development, and as such added an insane level of graphical fidelity. Now this may sound like a good thing, and for the most part it is. I mean, look at this, it's beautiful. But that comes at the cost of your FPS. Even my respectable gaming machine can't maintain a solid 60 frames per second without tweaking the graphics options a good amount. Another possible issue is one of my compliments from earlier. The randomness of the zone can lead to some unfair deaths and more than a few frustrating situations. If these downsides have you spooked, please rest assured that the sheer beauty of the game more than makes up for these small issues. If you're in the mood for a creepy, atmospheric shooter set in a location that's bound to become a personal obsession for you, then by all means check Clear Sky out. As a Stalker game, this prequel may not have the thrilling story found in the first entry, but its gameplay tweaks and visual improvements make it a must-play. And after a particularly violent radioactive emission, Stalker Clear Sky has mutated into a trashed classic. Hey guys, thanks for checking out another review of one of my absolute favorite series of games. If you happen to like this review, or just the Stalker games in general, you can find my reasons why Stalker is the most underrated horror series by clicking here on the left, and on the right, my review of the first game, Shadow of Chernobyl. Any Stalkers or Freedom supporters, feel free to drop me a line on Twitter or Facebook, and any members of Duty watching, you can go straight to hell. Thanks guys, I'll see you later.